The weather is getting warmer and school is winding down. And for many kids, that means beach days and trips to the pool are right around the corner. But for a lot of black children and other kids of color who are less likely to know how to swim, the water can be intimidating. Nearly 2/3 of black kids and 45% of Hispanic kids have little to no swimming ability. That's according to the USA Swimming Foundation. And that puts them at much higher risk of drowning. That is why the YMCA of Greater Boston is offering free lessons to hundreds of kids through the fall. This is to save lives and to make summertime even more fun, and we'd like to do that. I'm joined now by Catherine Saunders. She is the Senior Director of Partnerships and Community Relations for the YMCA Greater Boston, and Samuel Kardashian, who is a lifeguard at the Roxbury Y and the 2023 Youth Hero for the American Red Cross of Massachusetts. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
So, one of the reasons why we wanted to do this segment is because we hear these stories of drownings, and so often the message is that this is preventable. So talk to me about this initiative to make sure that kids know how to swim.
Sure. Well, first I just want to say thank you for having this very important conversation and topic. It's near and dear to us at the Y. We see so many kids, so many families through our programs, through camp, and the ability to swim is definitely a challenge. One of the programs that we're kicking off, which we're really excited about, is called WaterWise. So it's not just safety around water or just swim lessons. It's the combination of both. And as you mentioned, those statistics, I did bring some because they're so important and they're so sobering. 60% of drownings occur within 10 feet of safety, so it's right there. So some of those basic skills could maybe help a child or someone be more comfortable and safer. 88% of children who drown are under some form of supervision. So it's not that kids are necessarily alone, so making sure that families know some of those basics is also very important. And then the last one that I'll mention is, according to the CDC, is drowning is the second most common cause of accidental death of children from 5 to 14. So for the Y, we see all of those age groups, we see all of those families. It's really important for us to, again, not just do swim lessons, but do some of those safety measures. And in this sort of WaterWise curriculum, it may be children learn how to ask permission before they jump into the water, so that a caregiver knows that, the water is there. Life-saving moves, it's a cute thing. It's jump, push, turn, grab. So if you fall in or you jump, immediately turn, you grab. So some simple things, I think, the process of swim lessons, I'm really excited for Sam to share his story about learning how to swim and becoming a lifeguard. But for younger children, just those simple safety measures for them and their families can make a huge difference. And we're excited this summer. We've done free lessons before, but Mayor Wu, City of Boston, announced earlier in the spring that the city's going to be partnering with the Y to bring 400 more lessons to our branches, exactly through funding for swim lessons. So we're really excited about that, and those kick off very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Sam, I would love for you to talk to me a little bit about your story, because you didn't necessarily know how to swim when you were a little kid.
Yes, I didn't know how to swim. I was like 4 years old, and I went out to Dorchester Y, and I didn't know how to swim. But when I started working at the Roxbury Y, I started as a team worker, and I started little learning, like swimming, and then just like keep learning, jumping in the water, getting comfortable with the water, and then having a lifeguard with me to protect me if I like drown or hurt myself. So it's always good to have someone with you.
What was that like? Were you intimidated by the water at first?
At first, I was really determined to know how to swim and become a lifeguard. So I wasn't really scared, but I was always cautious because I didn't want to drown, so yeah.
What do you think it means for kids that look like you at the Roxbury Y to have you be a lifeguard there, protecting them as maybe them going through the same journey you did?
I think it's encouraging because it's just like seeing someone like me as a teen hero, also saving lives, getting in the water, saving lives, and then, what's the word? Just like encouraging.
Yeah, and kind of being an example to them, I imagine. Yeah, Catherine, we were talking about these statistics in the open about kids of color and these outcomes, and we know that comes from a history of segregated pools around the country and right here in Boston. Over time, is the Y working to change that gap in terms of learning, in terms of the culture around swimming in communities of color?
You're absolutely right. There's a history.
Yeah.
It's not just that, young black kids or black families or Latino families don't want to swim or, don't have an interest because we, of course, live on the coast. But through family history sometimes, not having access to pools over, we're talking generations ago, there's just this history that builds up. So one of the things that we do, of course, we do swim lessons, and of course, we do water safety. But we're also a membership organization where we have family members. So family members can come in and use the pool and get used to it and just play initially. And then that gives our staff and gives families an opportunity to get to know us, where if we see children who are particularly interested in the water, we can start that conversation. So sometimes it is talking to the parent first. Sometimes it is overcoming, mom and dad's, their fears, because they may not know how to swim.
Yeah.
So I think a part of that is just the access and the exposure. We also start our swim lessons as sort of parent and child. So they go from 6 months up to, I think, 2. Not exactly sure, where the parent is in the water with the child. So that's an introduction before it's just, a 2 or 3 year old who gets in the water to swim. So that helps the parent feel more comfortable. It helps the kids feel more comfortable. And again, it helps our staff get to evaluate, get to know those parents. Then we can help them move along through that progression with swimming. And I think, not only are we talking about kids and in this program with the city, it's not just kids. We actually teach lots of adults in this. We have lots of adults, same situation, who haven't had the access or have had some fears. We do swim lessons as well for adults. And as long as you live in the city of Boston, you can take advantage of this. So the first wave of lessons that we did last year, it was definitely mostly children, but we definitely had a few of our adults and our seniors who wanted to figure out, how would I feel better in the water?
What is that interaction like when you have, a senior or an adult say, I don't know how to swim. I'm, 20, 30, 40, 60 years old.
70, 80.
80, yeah.
We have a fairly large number of people who swim.
That's
Well, we have
extraordinary.
water aerobic exercise.
Yeah.
So Monday, and again, I'll speak for Roxbury. I was the ED there for 10 years, so
Okay.
I do know that pool very well. We have water aerobics classes Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for our seniors. So they are all in there. They, do exercise, they water walk, all of that. A lot of them do not know how to swim. So when this program started last year, we did approach them and talk to some of them who wanted to actually get real swimming skills as well. So they signed up from that. But it starts with fun, it's exercise, but it's also a community and it's fun. I mean, I think the kids, the families, if it's you're in an 8-week or a 9-week session, which is typically what a swim session would be, you do get to know those kids and those families because you see each other once a week on the side of the pool, and you do develop, those relationships, and it has a sort of a swim family. So we try and make it fun. We have great instructors. We definitely have been challenged with lifeguards. I mean, Sam is thankfully a new lifeguard, but that lifeguard shortage in the city, and I think all around the country, has been definitely a challenge, and we're trying to address that as well through some of the trainings. We have what we call Golden Guard swim or lifeguard courses. We're actually offering, let me not forget the date here, but we're offering on June 24th, all of our locations are offering a Golden Guard training for lifeguards. So if anybody out there is interested or you have young people who are interested, you can certainly reach out to our Ys, and we are trying to get as many of them in those certification programs as possible.
That's huge. And Sam, when you became a lifeguard, I mean, were you ever surprised by how many of your friends that maybe didn't know how to swim?
Yes, most of my friends were surprised because, I'm a black kid and they didn't know if I know how to swim. So it was like they were really surprised. My teachers were surprised. My coach was surprised. And my boss was kind of surprised too. But it's really good. And, yeah, I have fun.
How does it make you feel when people are surprised because you're black that you don't know how to swim?
You know, I don't take it lightly, but it's like, it's really fine. And, you know, you just really have to learn, and yeah.
Do you encourage your friends who maybe don't know how to swim?
I encourage all my friends to swim.
How do you, what does the pitch look like from you?
The pitch, I just tell my friends, just sign up for swim lessons at the Y. I'll help you guys, and yeah.
I'm sure you make it fun too when you're there.
Yeah, I make it really fun.
What's your, I guess, what's the thing that you like the most about being a lifeguard?
The community. The community is really nice. The people there too. Every time I come in, someone always says hello, how you doing? I have a good conversation. And it's just like talking to parents is really fun. And just like talking to the lifeguards is just amazing.
I can imagine, Catherine, that having an example in Sam is just so important to the work that you all are doing at the Y.
Mm-hmm. And actually, that was where the Red Cross Teen Hero came from.
Yeah.
We were involved in the committee for, you know, the Red Cross, and the call was put out about heroes in lots of categories, and Teen Hero was one. And you know, we had, you know, people that we thought of, and as someone who saw Sam all summer last year, and saw what it meant for our campers. He started with us last summer with summer camp. Our 4 or 5 and 6 and 7-year-olds who would come in, they looked for Sam. They made sure that, you know, he saw them. He made fun activities. He would put a towel and a cape, and it was really a great entry and exposure to kids. So when we started talking about heroes, for many of the reasons you mentioned, having somebody like Sam, with all the historical barriers that there have been to swimming, that felt really heroic to me. It was something that over generations, you know, the kids that see him last year, the kids who see him this year, and since then he's become a lifeguard. He wasn't a lifeguard last summer. He's become a lifeguard since. Those kids now will see him again, and now he's moved up and gotten more certifications. So it's motivating, it's mentoring, and I think the more examples, and I told him, he's our example. We want to have all of our kids through swim lessons go through that process and come back and be lifeguards for us. Because again, there's a shortage of lifeguards.
Yeah.
So, and it's really important for us to talk about Sam. So when this came up, I thought, great, let's make sure that we talk about it, because he is that example for other teens or other people to see that not only is it a viable job for the summer, it's actually pretty well paying for summer teen jobs. So, you know, we're trying to make it competitive. But he's just that great example to counteract, you know, generational issues with access.
Absolutely. And in our last 10 seconds or so, I mean, what would be your pitch to folks who are still on the fence about learning how to swim?
My pitch would be certainly call your local YMCA.
Yeah.
I can't give you the websites now, but I'm
We'll
sure
have
that
information.
we will certainly send those things out. We offer swim lessons, and again, water safety, we call it SAW, so it's safety around water. We offer those programs. So at every level, if you're not quite ready for swim lessons and you just want to make sure that your family, your young ones are safer around water, call the YMCA, and we can definitely get you steered in the right direction for that.
You got everybody covered.
That's right.
All right. Well, Catherine, Sam, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Absolutely.